Everyone, I personally analyzed the shocking seismic data from 20 kilometers under Mount Fuji detected today, April 10th, 2026. Did you hear the breaking news that 3 strong vibrations were detected deep underground early this morning? The Japanese Meteorological Agency officially announced that this was just a normal earthquake caused by magma chamber movements. However, when I directly cross-verified the original data from the Global Seismograph Network, the results were completely different. This was not a natural fault rupture, but a perfect artificial explosion intentionally detonated by someone using massive energy. Honestly, when I first saw this chilling seismic waveform with my own 2 eyes, I strongly suspected a severe error in my analysis system. How on earth can a regular wavelength that never occurs in nature repeat exactly 3 times in the heart of a giant active volcano? This is clear evidence that someone's terrifying. Conspiracy to forcibly awaken the volcano and cause a great catastrophe has just begun. I will show you every single detail of the real mastermind and the hidden purpose behind this artificial earthquake that I tracked down. If you watch this video until the end, you will realize that the ground you are standing on right now is never safe. Now, please open your eyes wide and focus closely on this dangerous monitor. Screen with me right here. To track down the background of this horrific incident, I exhaustively scoured through all the past geological exploration logs. Exactly 1 week before the incident occurred, the groundwater level around the volcano had been dropping abnormally and rapidly. Local geologists mistook this serious precursor symptom for a seasonal factor and responded far too complacently to the danger. When I traced back this groundwater depletion pattern, I found a chilling trace that someone was digging a massive space underground. Everyone, can you clearly picture this terrifying situation vividly in your mind? Right now, at this exact moment, while we were spending our daily lives, unaware, a terrifying war to manipulate Mother Nature had already begun deep below us. From what I found, digging an artificial cavity of this scale requires at least 1 year of meticulous excavation work. This means someone had been installing explosives in the core and waiting for a very long time to induce a massive eruption. As I checked these log records with my own eyes, I began to be overwhelmed by extreme anxiety and sheer panic. I could not even guess what kind of gruesome disaster would have occurred if they had detonated the volcano as fully planned. Aren't you truly terrified that the solid ground we stand on could be breached so easily by these malicious villains? As I dug into this seismic data, the real surprise burst out from a completely unexpected and deeply hidden place today. When I separated the frequency band that caused this artificial earthquake, it was absolutely marvelous to witness. This wavelength was on a completely different level from the noise created by dynamite or simple nuclear tests that we commonly knew. Shockingly, it was smoothly slicing through the fault, using a resonant frequency that matched the crust's natural vibration perfectly. It was an incredible technology guiding the waves, so the explosive energy shot straight into the magma chamber without scattering. Everyone, do you think it makes sense to precisely split a massive bedrock layer tens of kilometers below using just sound waves? This is the unknown advanced physics technology itself, far surpassing the ignorant level of simply detonating a powerful bomb. When I ran a simulation of this directional wave's refraction pattern, a hollow laugh and a deep sigh escaped my mouth instantly. It felt exactly like witnessing a godlike being freely manipulating the physical laws of nature like a simple toy before me. Honestly, I felt a heavy sense of awe, far beyond immense fear, at this highly creative and incredibly destructive attack method. But this is absolutely not the end of the terrifying story, everyone. While investigating the cause of this horrific situation, I discovered a mind-blowing paradox that made my blood boil with sheer rage. The exact location where the artificial seismic waves were detected was a site where a corporation began drilling just 1 month ago. From what I confirmed, a perfect secret path that allowed high explosives to be pushed deep into the crust was blatantly opened there. What makes me angrier is that government agencies were already warned about the fatal danger of this drilling half a year ago. The Green Energy Project, initiated with massive taxpayer money to protect the environment, had actually degenerated into a detonator. I was so utterly dumbfounded and incredibly angry that I wanted to completely smash this cold monitor right in front of me immediately. Isn't the greed of humans who ignored obvious disasters for their own shallow profits far more disgusting than a destructive machine? You probably cannot even begin to guess how flabbergasted and furious I was. Facing this highly ironic and completely infuriating situation, it is appalling that those hypocritical facades built to protect nature were actually used as the perfect tools to aid this massive disaster. However, one of the largest and heaviest questions has clearly emerged here, constantly circling and never leaving my mind. I firmly believe that you are also harboring the exact same reasonable doubts, quite strongly by this very moment. Why on earth did a massive group with such tremendous technological capabilities specifically target the magma chamber of this particular mountain? When I desperately traced back the correlation between the angle of the drill holes and the exact explosion point, a profound mystery unfolded. Shockingly, they were not aiming for a general eruption that spews volcanic ash, but precisely targeting an angle that induces a massive lateral collapse. Why did this massive organization meticulously design the debris to pour, specifically toward a certain densely populated city at the mountain's base? There must be a much larger and more terrifying political conspiracy hidden behind the dark backdrop of this massive artificial disaster today. How could a simple earthquake generation experiment be so meticulously connected to a highly advanced mass murder operation threatening countless lives? The deeper I dig into the data, the more terrified I become of the deep abyss of this incident, and I wildly wonder about their true target. But leaving all these massive mysteries completely behind, there are other protagonists of the true tragedy that breaks my heart the most. The people who will end up bearing the greatest damage due to this terrifying terror, disguised as a natural disaster, are ultimately just ordinary citizens like us. When I checked the expected damage scenarios, millions of innocent citizens were sleeping completely unaware in that massive area, where the deadly landslide would hit. The deep despair of children living with hopes for tomorrow and the elderly, who would lose their lifelong homes overnight, was incredibly clear to see. While those in power fight dirty battles in places we cannot see, the first ones to be unfairly sacrificed are always the completely powerless and innocent citizens. The fact that all of us could become direct victims of this horrifying artificial disaster at any given moment hit me right to the bone today. I realized just how precarious our ordinary lives, standing on seemingly solid ground, actually are above an active volcano. This cruel reality, where our precious daily lives are held as collateral in invisible weapon tests, is incredibly sad and deeply frustrating. I truly believe that you will also sympathize with this profound helplessness and immense sadness I feel looking at this terrifying simulation screen. Everyone, the shocking truth of the artificial seismic wave incident that I uncovered today is merely the prelude to a massive disaster. If the people holding power do not stop using natural disasters as weapons, our peaceful daily lives are a time bomb that can turn into hell anytime. However, there is one thing I deeply realized and absolutely vowed to myself while relentlessly tracking down this dark and incredibly dangerous secret. We can only prevent the worst possible catastrophe if we keep our eyes wide open and thoroughly monitor those who continuously plot massive conspiracies. I will persistently track down and relentlessly dig into the dizzying dark side of the underground world that dark forces try to conceal from the public. If they try to deceive us by manipulating Mother Nature with advanced technology, we must fiercely fight back with sharp verification and constant suspicion. If you found this critically important breaking news engaging, I earnestly ask you to press the button and subscribe to my channel right now. Your active sharing will bring this massive truth out into the world and become the strongest solid shield to protect innocent lives today. Next time, I will perfectly uncover the true identity of the mastermind forces who ordered this explosion and vividly inform you before anyone else does. Our future depends on our passionate resolve. I will definitely see you again in the next video.